Chapter 1. Creating a Culture of Accountability. We begin by introducing our core belief. Either you will manage your culture, or it will manage you. What do we mean by culture? Simply stated, organizational culture is the way people think and act. Every organization has a culture, which either works for you or against you, and it can make the difference between success and failure. Managing the organizational culture so that leaders, managers, team members, and employers think and act in the manner necessary to achieve desired results has never mattered more. Doing it well is not an option. It's a necessity. Optimizing the culture should command your attention every bit as much as your effort to achieve performance improvements in manufacturing, R&D, sales, and every other organizational discipline. Experienced leaders know that changing the culture can mean changing the game by growing faster than your rivals, beating a bad economy, revolutionizing the value proposition of your organization, or a host of other competition-beating achievements. Managing the culture so that it produces the results you are looking for has become an essential role of leadership and a core management competency. Neglect it at your peril. The story of Alaris Medical Systems illustrates our point. You may not have heard of them, but you have probably used one of their products if you have spent any time at all in a doctor's office or hospital. Alaris, one of the top medical device companies in the world, produces and sells some of the most widely recognized brand names in their categories. The Alaris story is about a company that transformed an organizational culture and, as a result, literally changed the game in a way that significantly influenced an entire industry. Ultimately, it generated an increase in share price from 31 cents per share to $22.35 per share in just 3 years, growing revenue as much as 15% a year in a market where competitors were achieving a mere 3%. Purchased by Cardinal Health, a Fortune 20 company, Alaris eventually became the nucleus of a company called Care Fusion, a spin-off from Cardinal and one of the largest medical device suppliers in the world. The Alaris story is also about CEO Dave Schlotterbeck, who valued the transforming impact of culture on what he characterized at one point as the most difficult job he held during his distinguished 40-year career. When we first met Dave Schlotterbeck, he was presiding over a merger between IVAC and IMED, the most highly leveraged medical device company in the world, with $350 million in revenue and $525 million in debt. Prior to Alaris, Dave had spent 2 decades effecting successful company turnarounds in the world of manufacturing. Previous experience had showed that he was good at what he did, developing what he considered a repeatable recipe for optimizing performance in manufacturing organizations. He had become adept at clearly seeing a company's problems after simply spending time with a set of financials. He learned to spot sloppy systems and to identify when people were failing to pay enough attention to details. Early on, Dave learned a fundamental lesson. To generate cash for a struggling company, you must optimize manufacturing. He knew that in companies failing to deliver results, manufacturing was often a big part of the problem. This conclusion was proving true at Alaris as well. Relying on his hard-won experience, Dave began his efforts to improve performance by doing those things he knew would generate the cash needed to deal with Alaris's enormous debt. However, those early efforts to generate the needed cash produced shocking results. As Dave put it turned into a scenario that I'd never seen before. The company actually took what I directed them to do and ended up consuming cash. It was beginning to look as if Alaris deserved the reputation it had earned on Wall Street, a company with good ideas but unable to execute. Dave began to spend an inordinate amount of time on the details as he worked to improve execution, leaving him precious little time to run the business. Despite his initial efforts to turn things around, the company continued to heave toward bankruptcy.